Hi, I'm CJ Almberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. This is a cool little runaround trailer sitting behind me. This is a 2025 Logan Bullseye 2-horse gooseneck. So if you're maybe needing a little runaround trailer, or you maybe just need to haul 1 to 2 head and that's about it, but you're still wanting to have the ability to have a gooseneck type pull and that type of storage, this is a really good little setup that we have sitting behind us here. Before I walk you through the trailer, we'll go ahead and take a look at the drawing. I'll show you some specs on it. What we're looking at on a Bullseye is you're gonna have some standard features, which is 7 foot tall, 6'9" interior width on this guy. This guy is just a shade over 12 and a half. It's 7 and a half floor length, so just over 12 and a half foot on that floor. So again, really kind of a compact little trailer, so it's really easy to get around. Maybe it's your little runaround trailer, you got a big living quarters, you want something a little bit smaller, or again, you just need to haul maybe 1 to 2 head and that's it. And again, you're wanting to actually pull a gooseneck rather than a bumper pull. So when we're looking at a Logan, we're looking at a galvanized steel frame, aluminum body. So we have the strength of the steel. It lightens it up, but then gives it that aluminum finish look to it. With that galvanized steel, you're gonna have a lifetime corrosion warranty, being the first owner of it, so it's not gonna rust like your black steel will. And then they incorporate a lot of Vortex lining that I'm gonna show you. First and foremost, you're gonna kind of start noticing even up here at the gooseneck coupler, underneath the whole gooseneck itself, and then even on the drop wall. And then we'll show you more of that throughout the trailer. I love this stuff. This stuff is awesome. I think it's really stout. It's really durable. In the stall area, I think it deadens some of the noise. But underneath here, typically where we see with some aluminum trailers especially, is if you live down, dirt roads, gravel roads, sometimes you go pretty fast on those guys and shoot some rocks back at high velocity. And sometimes we'll see this gooseneck drop wall beat up by rocks. I mean, you'll have all those indents. I will not say it will never happen, but now the chances of it happening are drastically reduced. We heard at the SEMA show that they took a cinder block with Vortex lining, threw it off a 3-story building, and it bounced. We've heard of stories of, Logan actually taking, like a pop can, and, they've, maybe one of their, ambassadors, a big steer wrestler. Obviously, we know what happens when you step on a pop can, how easily it just crumples. They Vortex lined the can and then tried to, have him do the same thing. He stood on it and it would not, go ahead and crush. So really strong and durable. I love that they incorporate it throughout. Underneath here, you're gonna have a manual crank jack, spare tire, and then underneath the gooseneck under here, you're actually gonna have an LED light. So there's a switch right kind of at the front nose of this trailer that will actually be able to turn this light on and off. What's great about this light is it's underneath, our cab light pretty much gets blocked by the nose of the trailer, but it's nice to be able to just turn this light on, have some light coverage. You can actually manipulate where the light is going by tipping it. So when you're hooking up your chains, hooking up the trailer itself, plugging your lights in, you've got that. And again, it's over here on driver's side, so it's really easy to just walk up to it, even if it's hooked onto the truck, just to turn this guy on and off from right there. So on this guy here, we did white sheeting. So with Logans, there's a lot of different color options. White is standard. You can go with like silver and champagne and charcoal and et cetera, et cetera. A lot of different colors. Now, the only time it's an upcharge is if maybe it's a custom color or the black. So if it's the black matte, the black polish, whatever it is, there is an upcharge there. But we really like this white because it really can just tie into about any tow vehicle out there. So front tack room, we have a 28 inch short wall on this guy here, but a nice little front tack room on it. Over here on the door, this is what I want you to pay attention, and I'll shut this door when we're done with the front tack, is notice at the top, it's squared at the top. This is a made at the factory door. So typically in these type, kind of price point trailers, you'll notice that some of the doors on some of the other manufacturers will be rounded at the top. Those are prefab doors. They're like a camper style door, and they are really lightweight. It's almost like a piece of paper in your hand, to where these Logans, they're squared at the top, so they're made at the factory, so good framework built into it, nice heavy duty door. Some manufacturers will skimp by going with that. So definitely pay attention there. On the door itself, you're gonna have 4-tier blanket pull rack, brush tray on the door for that smaller miscellaneous items to throw in there that may just kind of shift around. You know, your fly sprays, any type of, you know, liniments, brushes, anything like that can go right there in that brush tray. So a little bit wider door to accommodate a swing out saddle rack. Since it's a 2-horse, you're gonna have the 2 saddle pads on this guy. These are adjustable, so I can unscrew them from the back, slide them up and down, tighten them up. If I wanna add more, I can do that, but it's nice to have this mechanism that swings out. Again, you can lower or raise them all you want there, but again, being able to access those saddles from directly outside. As we come into the tack room itself, you're gonna have carpet on the floor, carpet on the deck and the drop wall itself. Up in the nose, you're gonna have a couple windows, the LED light up in the center of there. That way you have good light coverage. You know, you're gonna get natural light with the windows. If you're gonna spend the night in here, you know, throw a mattress up here, bedroll, sleeping bags, you create that cross breeze. I like that you can do that aspect, but also see out. I'd get a little claustrophobic if it didn't have the windows in here. But it's definitely nice to have a spot up here for a lot of storage. And then again, if you need to spend a night or two up in the nose, you can do that. On the partition wall, you're gonna have a row of hooks, carpet behind them. Carpet behind these hooks is really important because a lot of times we'll look at some trades and if they don't have carpet behind it, it's usually a sheet of aluminum. And we see that kind of partial moon shape on there where, you know, the tack has actually been moving as you're driving and it just scuffs up the wall. Think about what it does to actually your tack itself, so the carpet will protect that. Also deaden the noise of those items moving for the horses on the other side. You see some of that Vortex lining you see here on the partition wall as well. So again, they incorporate it throughout the entire trailer. The last piece is actually behind that saddle rack. That is wasted space. So we like to incorporate the corner water tanks on our inventory. It was just something we were adding so many to trailers. We just said, let's just order them that way. If your trailer doesn't have one, our parts department can help you out. If you need help with install, service can do that. But it's nice. It's just gravity feed. You fill from the top, you know, empty from the bottom. They give you a hose. I like these hoses, and get yourself another ball valve. You can actually fill up your buckets right outside. It's nice to have the water on board though, because now I don't have to go hunt for an actual hydrant itself. You know, when you get to events, unfamiliar places, you stop at a gas station, you want to get some water. Again, you're not having to pack buckets very far. It's right here at the trailer. But with that hose and that ball valve, you can fill those up right outside the actual trailer itself. So now in the 25 models, a couple of things is you usually get load lights, but they've gone in and they've done a load light right above the front tack door on this one here. So you have an LED load light there, and then there's one back here, kind of in the center of the wheel well area. Obviously, with it being a 2-horse, they're fairly close together, but you're not going to regret having a couple lights just from light coverage out here at the trailer. That's one thing, again, you'll never regret, is having too many lights on the trailer itself. You have bus windows. Hip side here, a couple tie rings. Obviously those bus windows, half of it open, so they really got you a good sized bus window there. Again, didn't really skimp there. I want to show you on this door. Let me shut it up because I wanted to show you what that actually looked like. Let me get our lights turned off so we don't forget those. But again, there's a good look at that made at the factory door. You got welded hinges on there. Again, square at the top. Window in that, and then again that light right above it. You're also gonna have a drip rail above the door itself, which is really important to keep moisture away from these doors itself. It'll be on the feed windows that I'll show you here in a few minutes too, but you know, you think about this here in Colorado, we have so many days of sunshine that even when it snows, the sun might come out, melt a bunch of snow off these trailers, it comes off the side. Well, it's gonna find those little nooks and crannies and try to get in that door, and then at night will freeze again, and then it's hard to get that door open. You might tear up some weather stripping trying to get it open itself. You might have to put it in the sun, move it around. It's just kind of a hassle, but those drip rails, again, are gonna try to keep that moisture away. All right, axles on this guy. So we have two 3,500 pound Dexter rubber torsion axles. We have 16-inch aluminum wheels and then a 10-ply tire. Now with these tires, you're gonna get a 1-year no questions asked warranty. It's not directly through Logan. It's going to be through Lion's Head, who's their vendor. We're familiar with that on the Cimarron side as well that we carry. They've been doing it a couple years. It's fantastic. If you catch a nail that can't be patched, typically it gets in the sidewall if that's the case. You have a blowout, you catch road debris, you know, damages, has a blowout. They will stand behind the tire itself for 1 year. They'll replace it, no questions asked. We'll need some information, some codes, some pictures, those type of things of what happened, but then we can submit that. And that's from the day you purchase it, you get 1 year. You have electric brakes on this guy. So obviously your tow vehicle will have to have an integrated brake controller or an aftermarket. If you do not have an aftermarket brake controller on there, or you know, your vehicle's not equipped with that, we can help you there through our parts and service department. Okay, at the back here, we've got 50/50 doors, so they're independent. The only thing you'll notice is over on the driver's side, that one's actually gonna have a weather strip there. So when you go to shut it, it's gonna just try to, you know, fill in that little bit of gap between the two so we don't have moisture, you know, those type of dust try to swirl in. They usually swirl at the back of vehicles and try to suck into it. So it's nice that that's there. You're gonna have an LED light on the top rail there, so you have a load light at the back as well. Now this one here, you might sit here and go, man, that's a perfect trailer, but I wish it had a rear ramp. That's what I need. So if your horse prefers a rear ramp, you want to use it dual purpose, haul some toys, just because this trailer doesn't have a rear ramp and that's what you need, doesn't mean we can't help you out. We can add a rear ramp to these trailers. So we can unbolt that rubber bumper, attach the actual ramp over to that, and then you shut your doors and then your ramp closes over those themselves. So again, there's a lot of stuff we can do to these trailers after the fact. You know, just because maybe it doesn't have 1 or 2 little items doesn't mean we can't help you out and get you the trailer set up exactly how you'd like it. So we get into the stall area here, you're gonna notice padded divider. This one here is a telescoping. And the reason why is this guy here, if I wanted to, again, dual purpose, maybe I want to haul some toys, maybe a mirror and full, something like that in here, I can actually pin it against the wall, shrink it down, and I can shut my back doors. If it didn't telescope, this divider would hit about right here, and you're wasting a lot of stall area. But with that telescoping, definitely helps there. Coming in, again, the kick mats all the way around, Vortex lining. So again, it just kind of comes full circle on where we've used it, or Logan's incorporated it throughout the trailers. Again, it's fantastic stuff. You have your slam paddle latch recessed into the wall. There's a good look at the windows on the inside. You got jail bars, and then 2 LED lights in here, so 1 above each stall. They can individually be shut off, but if you leave them on the on position, there's a switch at the back, so you can actually just turn them on and off from back there. So if you're loaded and don't necessarily want to have to try to reach in here, there's another model that they've got that doesn't have that. So you can imagine, you know, if you got a couple horses in here trying to come in here and get these lights on, or just the hassle of that, it's nice to have them at the back corner there. Aluminum sheeted roof, 2-way roof vents, so 1 above each horse again, so we can manipulate that airflow in here. So we have our drops, our roof vents, and then our bus windows tail side to again create some airflow throughout the trailer itself. Floor, you're gonna have rubber mats. But one more piece that I'll show you here is we have a wood floor, but that wood has been Vortex lined. So once again, Vortex lining is incorporated throughout the trailer. Kind of like I was telling you about the gooseneck drop wall, I'm not going to tell you you're not going to have to replace these boards, because at some point you might have to. But by having that Vortex lining on there, believe me, it's going to take a long time before you have to replace those boards themselves. So again, giving a lot of longevity and life to those floors. Floor is so important. We hear horror stories. It's always good to assess and check yours out, making sure it's in good condition. But again, that Vortex lining is going to give that wood a lot of strength, but also protect it from like urine, those type of things themselves. Okay, over here on the driver's side, one more LED light up on the top rail. So again, lights on each side. So the exterior lights, as far as the one, I'm not going to include the one at the tack door, but the one on the passenger side, this one here, driver's side and rear, they're on a switch as well, just like on the interior lights. So again, plenty of light coverage. Then we've got the drop down feed windows, jail bars, and then there's also a screen on them as well. If your horse doesn't like screens, if you got somebody who tears stuff up, it's really easy. It's just Velcro. You just pull off and slide off the top itself, but you can see how easy it is. There's a little cheater bar in the middle to release and drop them. And then framed feed windows, kind of like that tack door. They're not prefab. Pay attention to that. Those prefab ones, again, like a piece of paper in your hand. These guys here welded hinges, but again, framework around them, so really strong and stout. And again, you have that drip rail above each of them as well. The last piece to it is this cheater bar. Look at where this latch is. I almost have to get on my tippy toes to be able to reach it, but they've got this cheater bar here in the middle. It's a little slippery with my gloves, but as you can see how easy it is to just grab and open it. So if you're a little bit more vertically challenged, you don't necessarily want to have to reach up. You know, I see a lot of people will grab a tie ring, try to stand on a running board. You're trying to pull down, you're not getting good leverage. It just kind of messes up everything, kind of gums up the whole process. So that cheater bar is really, really a nice feature to have on there, and that's what Logan has on their drop-down feed doors. So like I talked about, what a nice little trailer for a runaround, or again, if you're not needing to haul a ton of horses, just one or two at a time, and you're wanting that gooseneck pull for storage, this is such a good setup on this guy here. So this one here literally just came in. I don't have the stock tag on it yet. One thing you can reference is the last 6 of the VIN, which is going to be 013491. So if you give us that, we can pull it up in the system. We can give you all the information on it. Again, it's a 2025 Logan Bullseye 2-horse gooseneck. We do take trade-ins, so if you're looking to upgrade, downsize, we can help you there. Financing is available and delivery is an option, so we could potentially bring this directly to you. So give us a call. Anybody in the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.